Two new premium aircraft in the dev server. Are they worth it? Let's take a look. First of all, in the AV-8B NA, the new premium pack vehicle for the US at 11.3. So we don't know the price of this thing, but we can try to guess. It's probably going to be around $60. So quite expensive if you ask me, but still, is it worth to actually pay them that amount of money? Or even if you forget about the amount, which is a little bit expensive, if you compare to other aircraft of the US, is it worth to actually get this thing instead of the other ones? Well, let's see. So first things first, what are the differences between these and the AV-8B Plus that we see? Well, the main difference is that it doesn't have a radar, as you see. Okay, so this is the main feature on this aircraft. Of course, with that, it comes with certain differences. One of them is that without the radar, you don't have AIM-120s. Of course, with that, you have a lower BR, and together with that, no AIM-9Ms to be together with that lower BR. So it's bad because it doesn't have AIM-120s, but it's good because it has a much lower BR, as you see, like 11.3. I don't know if it's gonna keep it like this, but it is a much slower, lowered BR, right? So what are the weapons that we see here? Well, multiple ones are basically the same as the AV-8B Plus. Besides the AIM-120, to be honest, and the AIM-9M, it's pretty much the same. You have the laser-guided Mavericks, as you see over here, and of course, laser-guided bombs. You have the GPS JDANs, as we are using them over here, guns, AIM-9Ls, so it should be a pretty competent fighter. If we actually test fly it a little bit, you will see that this aircraft is actually a fairly good aircraft for you to fly. It's very fun and actually very usable. As you see, we have a normal cockpit over here. Let me try to take off this baby without destroying myself. We are very heavy, so it's kind of difficult. I need my flaps and every help that I can get to actually take off with all these bombs. But yeah, you can see that it is very similar to the AV-8B Plus with the radar not there, right? So is it worth it? Well, guys, in my opinion, there are better options out there. Although a very unique and very good aircraft, I still believe that something like the F-20, although more expensive, eventually will be better. Why is that? Well, eventually you will see some form of sale or something like that, maybe. And with that, you might see a better aircraft in the F-20 to actually go out there and grind the tech tree of the US. Because the Harrier, although very good, and how did I miss that? It is an aircraft that has a very particular way of flying. It's an aircraft that it's not as easy as you might think to actually fly around. So I have a feeling that, although yes, it's a very interesting weapon, and it's pretty cool, especially because of the JDANs and what the actual Harrier 2 is, you know, with the AV-8B. But at the end of the day, again, I mean, it's an aircraft that it's not for everybody. A lot of people can do very well with it, a lot of people can do very badly. As a CAS option, it is a very good aircraft. Probably still, depending on what you want to do with it, better to use the A6. You know, but depending on the BR that you want to fly in tanks, the AV-8B might be good for you. But that's the only part, because the F-20, I gotta say, it is an easier option to fly and grind the US Tech Tree. The only problem with it is indeed the price. But again, probably, I don't know yet, but this will be probably a $60 aircraft. And for $60, don't you want to just wait for a sale or spend a little bit more and get the F-20, which will be a much easier aircraft to fly and get kills with it and actually grind the tech tree? So this is my opinion on this thing. Let's get to the second premium aircraft that is coming in this update. And that is the FFA P-16, the new Swiss vehicle for the Germans. Is this thing worth to actually buy? It's also $60, pretty expensive for such a low BR, but quite the interesting aircraft. I might be wrong with the price of the AV-8B, okay? I don't know the price that it's gonna come, but still. So this is quite expensive for the aircraft that it is in this terms of BR and stuff. It's a rank 6, so you're not gonna be able to get rank 8s, And with the price, you gotta be careful. It has some interesting loadouts, you know, for this BR. I mean, it's a 9.0. We don't know if the BR will remain like this, but it has AV-9Bs, which is pretty interesting. A multitude of bombs, and very good bombs, actually. You can take like 400 kilogram bombs. This is actually pretty good. And a multitude of rockets, internal rockets with the snap, just like the French. So it is an interesting aircraft. It is pretty fun. It is very easy to fly. And, oh, let me get to a battle here. It doesn't have a lot of fuel, but it doesn't have an afterburner, so it doesn't matter too much. And yeah, I mean, it's an aircraft that it's going to be very easy, and that's the good part about it. The bad part about it is that it is quite expensive for a 9.0, but I mean, if you really want something very different, then go ahead. I think it is, on the regards of being competitive, probably going to be pretty competitive at this BR. I don't know if it's gonna have a new BR when the patch is released, but for now, I mean, this thing has power, more power than most aircraft that you find in these BRs, you know. And of course, you still have the AIM-9s for an aircraft that is, you know, very low in BR again, and a very good flight performance as well, right? It feels like an F-104 in looks, but it has nothing to do with that in the terms of turning. It really does turn well, especially in lower airspeeds. You know, of course, it's not a 0 of turn, but it is pretty good. And as you see, the acceleration is pretty good. It's an aircraft that has the engine to actually go after fighters and be a fighter. Of course, you have the 30 millimeters, which are very good cannons. It's the same as the AV-8, I think. So very good rate of fire, very good muzzle velocity on the gun, which means that it's a very easy gun to use. And with 30 millimeters, you know how it is. You don't need much to destroy a target. So as an aircraft itself, this thing is gonna be competitive again, especially with this BR. Is it worth $60? You have to tell me. I think it's pretty expensive, and I would probably wait for a sale, even though it's gonna take a while to be on sale. But it is an aircraft that will give you a lot of performance, a lot of possibilities of being very competitive. For 9.0, I mean, top speed, as you see, maybe not the greatest. There are aircraft that are faster out there, but the acceleration is pretty good for an aircraft such as this. And look at the turn. It doesn't have a lot of compression. It's pretty good in compression and energy retention, even at high speeds. Look at this. It's turning very well. I mean, at 800, 900. If you compare to some of the other 9.0s, 8.7s, you will notice a difference. This aircraft turns way better than those. So it is as fast as most of the aircraft that you fight, with better cannons than most aircraft that you fight, and turns better than most aircraft that you fly against with these BRs, right? And you have AIM-9, so it is, I think it's gonna be really competitive and a really fun aircraft to fly. I gotta be honest, I wasn't going to get this thing for myself. I was considering it, but not really. I was like, I don't know, is it really worth to actually get this thing? I don't know. But now, after doing this video and actually seeing the performance and testing it a little bit, yeah, I'm gonna need to get this thing. It's really, really fun. Again, you have to tell me if it's worth on the price. It is pretty expensive for an aircraft that is at 9.0, right? And I have a feeling, I didn't confirm it, but some people were saying that the actual, like, how it works is that they model it, the players, and then Gaijin paid a flat rate to the vehicle, while I thought they were going to actually get a percentage of sales, you know. So apparently, you know, it was a mistake. I told you guys that when I did a video on the dev blog of it, so I was wrong, okay? So apparently they're not getting a sale, part of the sale. But yeah, I just wanted to correct myself. A lot of people are even complaining about this because, of course, it's a pretty expensive model, right? So if they could give something to the creators, it would even incentivize more people to do this type of thing, right? And by the way, it has a radar gun sight there. Not that it's really, like, useful, but it is alright. Look at this. Pretty fun, pretty fun. This aircraft will be very, very fun to fly. But yeah, guys, this is it for the two premiums aircraft. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna get one of them for you. Personally, I don't know yet, but I'll probably get the Swiss one for myself. Maybe the AV-8B just to complete the collection, but yeah, I don't know yet. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I see you guys on the next one. And oh my god, those are huge air brakes. But yeah, see ya guys, bye.